If I want to keep reaping a harvest in my marriage, I got to keep planting seeds every day. If you want to keep reaping a harvest, a good harvest out of your kids, you got to keep planting seeds in your kids every day. If you want to keep reaping a harvest in your finances and areas of your life, you want to keep reaping a harvest, you got to plant seeds every day. Why? Because what you plant today, you reap down the road. It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years down the road. You reap it. Why? Because you're planting now. Because what you're reaping right now, it's not from what you're planting right now. It's because of what you planted in the past. What up, everybody, man? It's your boy, JK. Today is Thursday, so you already know what it is. It's Tackle Thursday with JK, live on IG. I'm recording for my YouTube channel, which you could go subscribe to after this episode at Jeremy Kellem on YouTube, man. And you already know I'm recording for the podcasting platforms such as Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, right? And if you're new to the podcast, or hey, you've been following me faithfully over these last 2 to 3 years, then you know, man, the Tackle Thursday with JK podcast is a self-help podcast targeting young adults that are in the midst of establishing foundations in their lives, specifically in the areas of their careers or their relationship status and or their role as a parent. And any topic that I tackle, I challenge and encourage those that are listening, those that are watching. I challenge you to tackle this topic in your own life. Address this issue or this topic or this statement or this question in your own life, right? I mean, I think when we grapple with things and we tackle things and we look at other people's perspectives and we look at our own perspective and we go delve deeper, I think we gain more clarity and understanding to where we can grow and become better. And that's ultimately what I aim to do, is to make a life enrich and impact in every episode. That's my prayer. That's what I want to do and want to happen, for you to be impacted in a great way that God intends for you to be impacted. And today's topic is allow the seeds to grow, right? Allow the seeds to grow, right? And you probably have heard the saying, man, I'm planting seeds, I'm planting seeds. And that is really like my mentality, right? Is that, hey man, I'm gonna plant seeds. I'm gonna plant seeds with my business. When I think about WeImpactNow, I'm saying that my company, we're impacting those we work with in the manner in which we work with them. We impact them in such a way that we're planting seeds in there right now that will bear fruit in the future, right? That's my mentality. Like, hey, we impacting now. Like on Saturday, when I'm blessed, Lord willing, to go and speak, those in the audience, I'm about to impact there right now, believing that God will bless that impact to have a trickle effect, a domino effect, to where they reap a harvest in the near future, in the far future, due to the seeds that I impacted them with, right? And so I believe that every day that we wake up, that really we should be planting seeds, whether we planting seeds in our marriage or relationship, whether we planting seeds in our education, whether we planting seeds in our athletic career, whatever that is that we are doing or aiming to do, or we want to be great at, or we want to win at, I think every day, like, we should be waking up planting seeds, planting one more seed to get better, and planting one more seed in my skill, in my talent, in my gift, in my purpose, to bear fruit. And when I'm saying allow the seeds to grow, I'm saying, like, if you look at it agriculturally, when you plant seeds in the ground, like for instance, like grass. When we moved into our house, right, we had sod in the front, then we had to plant seeds in the back, and I would get frustrated, like that first time, like we moved into in the house, like in March of a year, and I was frustrated when I planted seeds and I wasn't seeing the harvest, right? And it was frustrating because I'm going out, I'm driving down the street, I'm looking at other people's houses. I'm like, man, why my grass don't look like that, right? Because when you, that comparative spirit can come over you in many different ways, right? Not just with businesses and money and things, but even as simple as grass, like looking like, man, what's wrong with my grass? Well, my grass don't look like that, right? And so I planted the grass and I wanted to see the grass grow immediately. I literally wanted to plant the grass, and as I started watering, I wanted the grass to literally just grow immediately. And as young adults, that can be a pain point for us, because we're used to things happening fast, especially, right, growing up in a technology-driven world that it's all about things going faster, right? Like Wi-Fi going faster, 5 gigs going faster, 5G, like it's about things going faster, because when things go faster, then I have to wait less, right? And so when I planted those seeds in the grass, I wanted to rush and hurry up and get the seeds to grow. So I'm going out there, I'm looking, what a grass, right? And that's how a lot of times, like, we got a business and we started a business, and now we starting to plant seeds with that business. We're advertising, that's planting seeds for your business. You are you creating content that you put on social media, that's planting seeds for your business. You are having meetings, that's planting seeds for your business, right? And I think that as young adults, when we're planting those seeds, we become frustrated because we're like, man, it ain't happening fast enough. Like, man, God, I planted these seeds in my business. Why I'm not getting no clients? Or in a relationship, right? We like, man, I planted these seeds. I'm planting these seeds in this relationship. Why the person ain't changing? Why they ain't asked me to marry me yet? Why they ain't do this for me yet? Right? Because we're planting seeds, right? And we want the see the harvest. We want to see the harvest fast. And so one of the reasons why we get frustrated or we get impatient when we plant seeds is because we're in a rush. We're in a rush to see the harvest. And another reason why I believe that why we get frustrated with our seeds not growing as fast as we want them to is because it stems from a lack of faith, I believe. And I say that because I look at the Israelites in the Bible, right? And you know, they were grumbling, complaining. You know, they wanted to get out of slavery. God got them out of slavery. God's moving them, taking them to the promised land, and here they are. They start grumbling and upset that about the new thing, the new obstacle. Now they don't have water, or now they hungry. Now they start thinking about how they had it so good in slavery, what they ate in slavery. Now they complaining. So God gave them something to eat, right? And gave them manna, right? And I believe it's quail. And so God gave them something to eat. And God strategically told them that on the 6th day, go out and grab double, because on the 7th day, I'm not providing any. That's going to be your rest day, and you should have enough left over from the 6th day to carry you through the 7th day and to take you throughout to the new start of the week, right? When it starts over. And the thing about the Israelites was that when God, he provided on day 1 for them. They woke up, went and got manna. Provided day 2, went and got manna. Day 5, went and got manna. Day 6, went and got the double portion, right? Like he told them. And then on day 7, they had a lack of faith. and they went out there to try to get the manna on day 7. They were disobedient. And when they went out there to go get the manna, it was none out there, right? And so the whole more of the story, from what I take from it, is God is saying rest. Like, rest. I got this. I got you. You got enough, right? Give it some time. That's what I took from it. Because we will plant seeds in our business, and the next day we checking to see if the business then grown 10x. We plant seeds in our business 1 month, and in 6 months or in month 2, we like, hey, are we good? Right? Has my business 10x? And you're not giving your business enough time to grow. Right? Like, we're impatient with it. And so a lot of times we keep checking because we don't have enough faith that what we planted, God in due season will bless that to 10x, to grow, to manifest. And that causes a pain point. So we won't allow our seeds to grow because, one, we're in a rush. So we keep checking, we keep bothering them, right? I'm in a rush for my grass to grow, so I'm keep looking. All right, I'm going out there kicking the seeds that I see. I'm like, okay, like, why y'all ain't grow? Because they ain't giving enough time, right? They ain't giving enough time. Then another reason I could be checking is like, man, I planted seeds, but they ain't grow yet. And I'm lacking faith that they can even become something because it hasn't happened. So when I'm saying to us that we got to allow the seeds to grow, that if you got a relationship and y'all fresh, y'all new, y'all got to give it time to grow. If you got a business that is new, you got to give it time to grow. If you started working out this year and you want some gains, you want to gain weight, you want to gain, you want to tone up, you want to lose weight, you got to give your body, you're planting seeds, you going to the gym, you working out, but now you got to give your body time to catch up with the seeds you've now planted. But we go in the weight room one week, and the next week we want to be maxing out at 450. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Planting seeds and reaping a harvest doesn't just work like that. And so when I'm saying that we got to allow the seeds to grow, that you got to understand that whatever I'm planting is going to take time to grow. See, sometimes we think that when opportunities start to happen for us, we believe that, oh, it's because of what I'm doing right now. Right? But a lot of times, and it could be because of what you're doing right now, but a lot of times, people see your old seeds, or they see the harvest of your old seeds, but you think it's what you planted right now, right? I look at Eric Thomas, and his most famous speech, man, was "As bad as you want to breathe," right? But when that video popped, I believe it had already been on the internet. That those seeds had already been sown maybe a year, maybe more months before it blew up. Right? In my own life, I have had experiences where I'm like, man, like, what you seen? Like, how did you hear about me? And they said, oh, I seen your video. I'm like, huh? Like, what video? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what? It's like, oh, I seen your video. And by what they were telling me, I knew what video they were talking about. And that video was, I posted that like 5 months ago. But last week, we're having this conversation and they telling me about them seeing a video that I posted months ago. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, we seen your live today, and because we seen your live today, we gave you a call. No. They like, nah, man, I seen your video that you posted. And I'm like, oh, that was like 4 or 5 months ago I posted that. And so what I'm trying to say is that when you plant your seeds, give it some time to grow. Because what can happen is if we get impatient with our seeds, if we lack the faith that our seeds can one day become a harvest, then we will keep checking on them, and we'll keep bothering them, and we'll keep messing with them, and we'll keep uprooting them, and we'll keep taking them up and putting them somewhere else and not giving them time to take root and grow. And then we can push back our harvest time even further because we ain't leaving it in the ground long enough. So you got to leave the seeds that you planting for your business. You got to leave it in the ground long enough. Those seeds that you planting with potential network opportunities, you got to leave it in the ground long enough. Like, how I'm doing calling the basketball games. Obviously it's God, but through network, through connection, right? I just want y'all to understand what I'm saying. Right? That planting seeds, how you reap a harvest. That the seeds you eating, the harvest you eating right now, 9 times out of 10, they not the seeds you planted right now. That they the seeds that you planted a year ago, that you planted 10 years ago, that you planted 15 years ago. You just eating a harvest right now. It was one of my fraternity brothers, man. We knew each other in college. I wasn't even a bros. He was. But we knew each other in college. And make a long story short, stayed in contact, would see each other out. And man, shows love all the time to the podcast and everything. But we just got a genuine friendship. And he seen something that my wife did for my son. And he was like, man, you think we could get it? Like you think your wife could make one for us? Wife made one for him, right? Made a board for his son. But we doing this out of love. We doing this out of appreciation. Like showing love. You show love to me, I show love to you. But it's planting seeds though. Because out of that, our relationship, out of that planting seeds, out of that relationship, he calls me up and hit me up and like, hey, look, man, I want to link you with this guy that do TV. I'm like, all right. He's like, I think y'all got something in common. I link up with this guy. We just chop it up and we talk about it. This was like in August, September. Next thing you know, like we, staying in contact and stuff, right? Small talk. Next thing you know, December come. Now, think about it. I said September, I linked up with this guy. Like, got to know him in August, September. Changed numbers. In December, he calls us. Hey, man, look, hey, when you free, we got a game. Hey, you can call it a basketball game. But it started off with seeds. Planting seeds through relationship. Planting seeds through conversation. And then all of a sudden, I started to reap a harvest because, I got an opportunity to call TSU basketball game in December. 2 more opportunities to call TSU basketball games. But it started with a harvest. It started with seeds. Seeds. Right? And some seeds may bear fruit faster than others. But at the end of the day, man, you got to plant the seed. Right? And you got to allow the seeds to take root. You got to. All right? And I want to close by saying this. And I mentioned it, but I want to re-emphasize what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is that the harvest you're eating off of right now in your life, the harvest, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your finances, whether your business, your kids, much of the harvest you're seeing right now in every area of your life are from seeds that you already planted. You planted years ago. You planted months ago. You planted a time ago. Because when I tell you that, when I go out there and look at my backyard and I see how much grass out there, it didn't grow in 1 month to that. But it came because I planted seeds in my backyard. And next thing you know, when the spring came back around, I walked out there and I was like, okay, it wasn't where I wanted my grass to be, but it wasn't where it used to be. And I started to see a harvest, but it had took 6, 7, 8 months after planting seeds for me to see a harvest. And so that is what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that if you want to continue to see a harvest, you got to plant more seeds. Right? Everybody, like, you got to keep planting seeds. When you keep planting seeds, then you keep getting a harvest. Why? Because what you eating off of today, the harvest you experiencing today, are from seeds you planted in the past. And if you want to continue to experience, you got to make sure you keep planting seeds. Like, for instance, like the joy, the happiness that I experienced with my wife in our marriage in year 7 are because of the 6 years of, and prior to us getting married, but it's because of the 6 years of planting seeds in our marriage. So me and my wife, we're able to enjoy laughter and happiness and fun in our 7th year of marriage because we planted seeds in these prior 6 years. So in year 7, we're reaping a harvest because of what we poured into our relationship in the first 6 years. And so because we want to see even a greater harvest in every year as we go into year 8, right? We got to continue to plant seeds. So every day I'm striving to be the best husband I can be. I'm striving to pour into my marriage because I don't want to just say, oh yeah, we had a good 7 years, but I'm done pouring into it. No. If I want to keep reaping a harvest in my marriage, I got to keep planting seeds every day. If you want to keep reaping a harvest, a good harvest out of your kids, you got to keep planting seeds in your kids every day. If you want to keep reaping a harvest in your finances and areas of your life, you want to keep reaping a harvest, you got to plant seeds every day. Why? Because what you plant today, you reap down the road. It could be months. It could be weeks. It could be months. It could be years down the road. You reap it. Why? Because you're planting now. Because what you're reaping right now is not from what you're planting right now. It's because what you planted in the past. So I end by saying, man, and reiterating, you got to allow your seeds to grow. So that seeds of connection. Like, yeah, you shook their hand today at the gathering, business gathering. But it don't mean that a business deal gonna happen today. It could happen today. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen next year. But just know I planted a seed. I took their number down. Hey, we linked up. I had that meeting with that person. Hey, I made that investment financially. Hey, I put that work in. Hey, I put my resume in. I applied for this job. I applied for this opportunity. So I planted my seeds. Now I got to take my hand off, allow the seeds to grow. And in due time, like even how I call the games at MTSU. Like people ask me, man, how that happen, man? How you calling the games on ESPN 3, ESPN Plus, on ESPN 3 platform? How you calling that? I was planting seeds since 2007. When I got to MTSU, they knew Jeremy wanted to do TV. So they let me get opportunities to do TV. Every year that I played arena football in the offseason, I would come back to MTSU and I would meet with Coach Starr. I would meet with the AD. I would meet with people. I told Mark Owens, you got anything open in media? So I was planting seeds year after year after year after year after year. And then in 2020, boom, I get a call. But it wasn't because I planted seeds in 2020. But it was because I planted seeds in 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, every year, 13, 14, 15, 16, I'm planting seeds. And so now when you see me calling the games, I'm walking in a harvest from the seeds I had planted from years prior. And so now, because I want to walk in even greater harvest, now I'm planting some more seeds, knowing that it's going to take time for them to grow and become a harvest. Right? But in due season, it'll become a harvest. And so that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about today, man. That's the topic we tackled today, is allow the seeds to grow. right? Don't be in a rush to cause your seeds to become a harvest. Don't get so frustrated and get down on yourself because your seeds haven't grown into what you believe or want them to be and become, right? Just know, hey, I'm planting seeds now to reap a harvest at a later date. Because the harvest you're reaping right now is because of the seeds you already planted. So as long as we understand that, as long as we understand that, hey, if I want to continue to reap a harvest in my life, I got to plant seeds in those areas. I want to reap a harvest financially. I got to plant seeds right now. If I want to reap a harvest financially 5 years from now, I got to plant seeds now. If I want to reap a harvest in my business, I got to plant seeds now. If I want to reap a harvest in the future in my relationship, I got to plant seeds now. Understand that. That's just like anything. Like if I want flowers in the spring, I can't plant the flowers in the spring. I got to plant the flowers right now. Help nurture them, and allow them to bring forth a harvest down the road, all right? And so, man, hey, no problem, twin. I appreciate you getting on, bruh. Hey, appreciate you getting on, bruh. Keep up the great work, bruh. I know you and your brother, man, doing y'all thing, man. And hey, I appreciate you hopping on, man, and tuning in to the podcast, bro, to the show, man, and everybody, man, out there watching that hopped on or that's gonna watch this on replay or listen to it, man, on replay, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all continue to wake up, striving to win on purpose, be intentional about winning, all right? And y'all have a blessed day, and I'll catch y'all on the next episode of Attack of Thursday with JK Podcast. Y'all have a blessed day.